Let me ask you something. Why is it that two people can take loans from the same bank, pay similar EMIs, yet one sleeps peacefully at night while the other lies awake panicking? Same debt, same economy, same world, but completely different outcomes. Why? That's what we are talking about today. In this video, brought to you by Prefr, we will tell you not how to get rich using debt, not why loans are good or bad, but why debt makes some people stronger and quietly breaks others. Debt is not the villain. Here's something most people won't say out loud. Most Indians don't fear debt itself. We all take education loans, home loans, use credit cards, EMIs. What we actually fear is losing control. Missing an EMI, losing a job, a medical emergency, a business slowdown, a market crash. Debt becomes scary when it shows up at the same time life gets messy. On a smooth month, an EMI feels manageable. On a bad month, the same EMI feels like a trap. And yet, if you open the newspaper, you will see the headlines like entrepreneurs expand businesses using loans. Companies scale faster with structured borrowings. Wealth created through smart leverage. So clearly, debt itself is not evil. So why does debt work for some people and make other people panic? Let's find out. What debt really does. Debt lets you use tomorrow's money today. Let's simplify this. Debt allows you to use money you have not earned yet today. For example, you buy a house today, even though it will take you 20 years to earn that money. You get a college degree today, even though the salary will come later. You start a business today, even though profit may take years. In finance, this idea is called leverage. But forget the word. Here's the mental picture instead. You are not richer, you are just earlier. Early to a house, early to education, early to growth. And the earlier you pull something into your life, the more pressure comes along with it. Because tomorrow's income is uncertain, but the EMI starts next month guaranteed. So why do banks say yes to this? Why are they okay with giving people such big amounts even with so much uncertainty? Banks don't lend money based on how ambitious or talented you are. They lend money based on how easily they can recover their money if something goes wrong. For example, a house is slow to sell but very reliable as a collateral. Even if it takes time, banks are confident they can recover value from it. Shares are fast to sell but risky. Prices move daily, sometimes sharply, so banks are cautious. Gold is culturally liquid. In India, everyone understands gold's value. It can be sold almost anywhere and without much explanation. This is why bank appears calm, because they always have an exit plan, which most of us borrowers don't have. And that mismatch is where stress begins. Which brings us to a question many people quietly wonder about. Why not just pay in cash? If loans create pressure, why do financially smart and well-to-do people still use them? The answer is not greed, it's flexibility. When you pay everything in cash, you buy peace today. No EMI, no obligation, no pressure. But you also give something up. You lose flexibility tomorrow because all your money is locked in one place. Borrowing, on the other hand, keeps option open. Here is a simple way to think about it. Cash gives you peace now. Borrowing gives you choices later. For example, if you use all your saving to buy a house, you feel calm today. But if an opportunity comes tomorrow, a business idea, a job change, a relocation, you have limited room to move. If you borrow wisely, you may feel some pressure today, but you retain the ability to act when life changes. Neither approach is right or wrong. The mistake is thinking the problem is the loan itself. It's not. People often divide debt into good debt and bad debt. But here's a more useful way to look at it. Debt does not fail because it's bad. Debt fails because life changes. The wrong debt is the one that collapses the moment your income wobbles. For example, someone earning 80,000 a month takes an EMI of 45,000. Everything feels fine until a job change or a slowdown happens. Income drops to 60,000. Suddenly, the basic expenses plus EMI does not fit anymore. Stress begins immediately. That loan did not fail because it was bad. It failed because it left no breathing room. Ask yourself just one question. If this EMI continues during a bad month, does my life still function? Can I pay the rent or groceries? Can I sleep at night? can I handle one unexpected expense? If their answer is yes, the debt works. If their answer is no, the debt controls you and will be a burden tomorrow. That's the only math that matters. So if that is mostly about survival, how do people use it to grow wealth? How people use debt to grow? Let's take an example of 3 people who have taken 3 different types of debt. Person 1, borrowing to earn more. This is the most common productive use of debt. Education loans, skill upgrades, business tools. Example, someone earning 6 lakh a year takes 10 lakh education loan. For 2 years, life feels tight. But after the degree, income jumps to 12 to 15 lakh a year. The pressure reduces over time because income grows. This kind of debt feels heavy at first but lighter later. Person 2, borrowing to own slowly. This includes home loans and rental assets. Example, a person buys a 1 crore house using 20 lakh savings and an 80 lakh loan. EMI is high but predictable. Over time, income rises, rent value increases, loan balance falls. Ownership builds slowly but steadily. Pressure does not disappear, but it becomes manageable. Person 3, borrowing to multiply. This includes market leverage, margin trading, and aggressive strategies. Example, someone borrows 20 lakh to invest in markets hoping to make quick returns. If market rise, gains multiply. If market falls, losses compound. This is where stress is highest. High upside, high anxiety, no room for mistakes. Now, let's step into a different world. There's a common misconception that wealthy people don't borrow wealth since they already have money, but that's not true. Wealthy individuals don't borrow to survive, they borrow to scale. Let's take an example. Person 4, structured borrowing for growth. A business doing 2 crore in annual revenue wants to expand. Using only profits, expansion might take 5 to 7 years. Instead, they take a 50 lakh structured loan. That allows them to hire senior talent early, open a second location, buy machinery, enter new markets. If the expansion increases revenue to 4 to 5 crore, the loan pays for itself through growth. The key difference? Repayment matches cash flow. Return over cost mindset. Most people look at debt and think about cost. The wealthy look at what the borrowed money can produce. If borrowing 1 crore helps generate 5 crore in revenue over 2 years, they see it as a fuel and not as a burden. That's why many Indian family businesses stay competitive. They don't wait endlessly for savings. They use borrowed capital with a clear plan. This does not mean wealthy people love debt. They respect it. They borrow only when there's a clear plan. Cash flow is predictable. Expected return exceed cost. Repayment does not disrupt life. Debt is not the enemy. Misuse is. Why this matters in 2026? In 2026, we need to admit that income these days is less stable, but opportunities are endless. With freelancing, consulting, content creation, side businesses, global work, skill-based income, we can now build passive income with our talent. Let's remember that the people who move ahead are not always the smartest. They are the ones who can act when opportunity appears. And action needs capital, time, and flexibility. Which brings us back to debt. Why avoiding debt is also a risk. In today's time, avoiding all debt does not make you safe, but it can make you slow. When you refuse leverage completely, you delay skills upgrade. You skip income jump. You stay dependent on one salary. You play defense in an offensive world. The real risk today is not borrowing. It stays financially rigid. But let's be clear. This is not about reckless loans. It's not about showing off the wealth. It's about learning a skill many wealthy families quietly pass down, which is how to use money, including borrowed money with intent. Because in the end, it's simple. Used well, debt buys you time. Used poorly, it steals your peace. If you found this video useful, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more conversation about money. See you in the next one.